Let's talk business. So I often get asked, how do we reduce the incidences or likelihood of failure of my business? And this is what I always say. There are three things you can watch out for. The first one is product market fit. Very mouthy word, but basically what it means is, do you have a product or service that the market is actually willing to pay for? In the last 3 years alone, with the research that we've conducted, we now know that 83% of all failures were caused by poor product market fit. So it's not a luxury anymore. What do we need to do? Test, and then test some more. If you have built a product or a service and sales are going slow or sales are irregular, you need to find a way to retest the product with the customer and find a way to get closer. As we like to say, get a snugger product market fit. Second thing, organizational design. And this is the biggest failure, especially in Kenya, with family-owned businesses, which form the majority of, I would say, early-stage businesses and SMEs. And organization basically speaks to the idea that, do you have the structures, do you have the SOPs, do you have the processes to keep things going beyond yourself? A good example is I know an entrepreneur that we worked with who runs a 4 billion shilling company and yet cannot take an afternoon off. If you don't want to be that person, build processes from ground zero, from day one. We actually say that we call it day zero because the whole idea is to make sure that you get it right from the onset. Third thing is agreements. A small thing that's often underlooked by most entrepreneurs is, do you have a shareholders agreement between you and your partners, your co-founders, and partners alike? And this is a big part of failure, or what causes failure, because oftentimes you find that there's little disagreements that crop up in the running of the business. And if you do not have a substantive shareholders agreement, what often happens is sometimes the business is dissolved, or often no one is focused on growth, and therefore eventually leads to failure. So these are my top 3 things to look out for to reduce the likelihood of failure. We now know from research 75% of businesses will not make it beyond the first year. You do not want to join that statistic. Focus on those 3, and we're going places.